Hey, what's up, guys? Good morning. Welcome back. Welcome back to a brand new week of forex trading. And if some of you guys are actually in the office, well, I wish you well. So currently what I'm doing is I'm actually, you know, planning my trades, mapping out my trades, and also, trying my very best to sharpen some of the strategy that I've been using, for the past few years. There's a thing about me, which is I love craftsmanship. I love to polish, I love to sharpen stuff. I love to, keep on practicing infinitely so that, our craft, our skill, our mindset, our wisdom, everything become, is in a constantly upgrade kind of situation. So let us set an intention for a brand new week. It is 16th of March 2026, Monday, 10 a.m. And the intention that I want to set together with you guys is craftsmanship, Kaizen, right? A Japanese philosophy called Kaizen, where we are going to try our very best to polish, to enhance, to sharpen the detail in our trading. And as for today, what I'm doing is I'm starting off my day, my trading day, with revising the fixed range volume profile. So I want to have like a deeper and better understanding on the indicator. So that is what I'm actually doing right here. All right, that's mostly it. Let's get back to the chart. So currently mapping out, the potential points for us to really see where is the auction going on. Good morning, guys. We have Theodore, Manson, Luca, Navi, Zai, Carlo. Good morning, guys. Welcome back. Currently analyzing the gold market. Gold price, well, flirting with the price point of 5,014 right now. So before I say, going up or going down, buy or sell, you know how I roll. If you've been through my live stream, if you attend my live stream since the very beginning, you know how do I do things. I don't like to do the forecasting before I understand the regime of the market. So one trading rule of thumb for me is to understand market state before understanding the market direction. So market direction for me is not the priority. Market state and market regime for me is actually the priority. Because once I have a good understanding on the market auction, the structure of the current price, I can make a better judgment and positioning um, when I'm doing my trades. How's your weekend, guys? Everyone having fun? Shari say, aku tidak bisa bahasamu. Wow, aku bisa bahasamu, Pak, Ibu. CG bisa cakap bahasa Indonesia sedikit. I boleh cakap bahasa Melayu juga, tapi I tidak tahu kalau you faham bahasa Melayu ke tidak. I tahu orang Indonesia mungkin tidak faham bahasa Melayu. So, Shiri, nama saya CG. Saya salah satu trader dengan forex trading. Selamat datang, selamat pagi dekat live stream kita ni. Gaspo. Alright. Hey chat, so currently I'm looking at the gold market, which is gold US dollar. The current price of gold is flirting around 5017.46 cents. I'm thinking of going into an entry around this price range. I'm looking at a buy trade. So the hypothesis would be the price would create a rejection after it hits the support line right here. Okay, so for me, I'm going for a buy trade. And right now, based on my account balance, based on your understanding, I'm probably gonna take around 2% risk per trade for this one. So I'm gonna tell you my stop loss strategy as well. So my stop loss is gonna be simple. Entry around this price zone. Long position. Oops. All right, I'm gonna do a long position, and I'm gonna do like a pretty. Oops. I don't know what's going on. Ah, finally. Okay, so the stop loss is gonna be tight. Not gonna use that long of a stop loss. Maybe just the stop loss gonna be at 4968.188, aiming for a TP of around like 5116.17. So please help me to make a calculation on the lot size based on my structure. Thanks. All right, going in, buy. Going in gold, buy position. All right. All right, there you go, guys. So anyone that want to follow my trade, feel free to take a screenshot. I'm going to show you a closer look on a buy trade. Just a moment. right? Position in. 2 buy trades. For those of you that want to follow the trade, feel free to take a screenshot. Okay. There you go. So first trade, position open. I will share with you guys the reasoning later. Alright guys, so a quick recap on the reasoning behind my trade. So first thing first, if you want to do a recap, we're gonna go back to the daily time frame. Alright, so zooming back into the daily time frame, few things that I want you to understand. Well, pay attention on these two pink color shape zone, okay? So this is what we call a low volume node. So usually if you trade like auction market theory, what you want is that when the price is close to the low volume node, it tends to have, this kind of big reaction where the price is easily being penetrated or something. So usually for, trader like us, auction market trader, we take opportunity on this kind of place. All right. And the second thing would be we also will take opportunity on where the market have reaction with the point of control. Now, the reasoning behind this trade is simple. I am trading price acceptance. And what do I mean by price acceptance? Okay, I'm going to do some notes for you guys. So price acceptance right here. Okay, so the strategy today would be price acceptance. Okay, so price acceptance means that currently the price is happily, comfortably trading in the zone of 5011. And for me as an intraday trader, I am not that restricted by the long-term trend or news. Okay, for me, I just want to earn, those small little peeps that is currently in price acceptance. So I'm taking advantage of this, reaction around here. And if you zoom into, the 1 hour chart, you can have a closer look. You see, it is not that difficult to understand. Price action, have a strong reaction from the previous reaction already here. So for me, currently I'm trading price acceptance, means that I'm having this hypothesis where the price, after traveling down here, it will have a reaction to go back up. So that is my main hypothesis. Okay, and I'm taking a 2% risk per trade for this one. It is totally fine for me. Okay, if it actually hits my stop loss, then it's fine. If it didn't, well, I'm aiming for, this kind of price reaction. So for me, the reason why I opened this trade is because that I'm having this hypothesis where the price already reacted in the way. Let's go into the 15 minutes where there's already small signs of buyer actually still have the buying strength, which is the um, accumulation strength, right? So accumulation, having this kind of accumulation right here, even though that sellers still show strong signal of going down, but I see, based on the structure of the market, I see there's a potential for us to really try to trade, a buy trade that goes up here. So that is basically the entire setup for, well, that is basically the entire setup of my gold position. So I place a position entry at this zone, which is 5017.52, and having the hypothesis of price will have a reaction here, go up, and back to the point of control, and to, well, to reshuffle and renegotiate. Okay, and let's take a look at the bigger trend for hours to have a double confirmation. Okay, so this entire zone here, okay, this entire zone is where a lot of trade is being made, okay, which is a high volume node area. So based on FRVP, fixed range volume profile, I will show you a very clean picture on what do I mean by that. See, so this is actually based on daily time frame. This is actually the point of control, okay, and we're still actually in a place where a lot of price is going to be traded here. So to me, it's better for me to trade price acceptance, because during this place you can see very clearly that buyer and seller, they are comfortably trading around this zone, you see. So for me, it is only logic for me to trade price acceptance, because I'm assuming that there will still be a lot of trade being made in this particular trade. So that is why I placed this trade. Okay. All right, guys. Before we continue, I'm gonna go for a 5 minutes toilet break. Please wait me for a while. Meanwhile, just chill, understand, get to know each other in the chat box, and I'll see you in 5 minutes. Okay? Just a quick bathroom break. Alright guys, I'm back. So I see some of you are having some nice breakfast in the group. Let me light up some incense. And close a small position. Light up some incense to chill. All there. Okay, so first position open in gold. Right now we're gonna, take a look at different kind of pairs. Before we move, one last look for the setup. So we're currently trading price acceptance. Okay. Let's take a look at Euro US dollar. Well, guys, if you have any question, feel free to leave in the chat box. Don't be shy. There's a reason why I do live stream every day from 10 to 12, right? Not only me myself is trading, but also want to have some fun with you guys. Looking for potential buy trade. So for Euro US dollar, I'm gonna tell you my setup. So for Euro US dollar, we're currently looking at a price around like $1.14. So it's close to 1.15. Now here's the thing. Currently the price is actually forming a compression, which is seller from a macro perspective, which is the macro point of view. Let's say from the 1 hour chart. Let's say we are trading the M5, right? For execution intraday. So there's two things. Signal number one would be the price is actually currently, forming a compression, which is showing a strong distribution power by the seller side. Okay, so we cannot neglect the fact that there's actually, a compression going on. So if we were to look from auction market theory point of view, it means that the market currently is in compression or expansion, which is that it is still not in a phase where the buyer and seller found a place to agree to trade comfortably. So right now, if I were to do a buy trade, would be risky to me. Now the question would be, when is the perfect, not perfect, optimal, trigger point for me to place a trade? The trigger point would be this. It's either I trade, the rejection of the compression, where the price actually, decided to broke this area. Okay, then I think, if it broke this area, then I think it is actually a really good trade, to do price rejection. So I'm going to draw a line here. This is a good entry. Okay, this is good entry. This is actually a good entry as well. I'm going to delete this. There's two entry actually. Oops. This is the second entry. Okay, so two of this is actually a really nice entry. So what happened is that if the price actually come from here and then it breaks here, okay, if it breaks it, and I'm gonna see the reaction. If the seller is still showing strong indicator of selling power, distribution power, I will do a short trade until it touches here. Okay, but if the structure broke it, okay, if it broke, and if it, what happened is this one. If what happened is, if it broke the structure, come back down, and manage to defend it, well, I would probably do a buy trade. So either way, I need to wait for the confirmation when the price touch and test. Oh, not 5 months. So euro US dollar. So Lucky asked me, teacher, what's your view on the current conflict between the US, Iran, and Israel? How do you think it will affect gold, oil, and currencies? Well, to be honest with you, for me, I'm a big time technical analysis. I don't really trade too much on news. I did pretty well for myself just by understanding option market theory, just by understanding the chart patterns that is revealing, you know, that is included everything that's happening around the world. So if I were to answer you, completely honest, to me, reading news doesn't serve me any good. It doesn't serve me any good is because that the more news that I look at, the noisier my mind will get. So for me, I want to keep trading very simple, very minimal, and very chill. Because if I'm not chill, it's very hard for me to enter the flow state and for me to, spot for quality trade. So for me, I don't really pay attention on news because I don't believe that we can really benefit from news trading. I think that it is insufficient. I think that um, it is making me feel much more noisy than quiet and calm. So for me, I don't really, um, check too much about the news, honestly. And yes, we did do an experiment, which is the gold under fire experiment a few weeks ago, right? Where I flipped a $3,000 account. But that is because that, we are having this, um, that was like around like 3 weeks ago. So I think the volatility from the war is actually already, slowing down. So for me right now, I'm just focusing back to my baseline. My baseline is just basic chart pattern with auction market theory base and also fixed rank volume profile for me to trade, the chart. That's all. So nothing too complex. So Euro US dollar, well, the currently I'm not going in because that if I go in right now, it is a very low probability trade. So for Euro US dollar, yes, there would be opportunity, but I need the price to test at least here and to see how it reacts in this zone. So if it reacts, in a way that can, reveal the momentum of the structure, then I would, act accordingly. So there's only two scenarios, okay? Scenario number one would be the price actually test this level right here, and then is being pushed down by the distribution power by the seller side. So if it's being pushed down, I would probably do a sell trade here. Okay. But if it managed to go up, I would do a buy trade. So anyway, buy or sell, I cannot determine now because I need the trigger line, which is this zone. Okay, this would be the trigger to reveal to me, is it buy or is it sell? Okay, so that's pretty much my setup for Euro US dollar. So let's go back to gold and see how is it doing. All right, still flirting with that level. Check the macro trend and see how it goes. Okay. Okay, a moment, guys. I'm gonna go to get some water. Well, there's some signs currently looking at UJ, Japanese yuan, and showing signs of weakening accumulation power. You know, buyer actually went from charging through, going all the way up, and now finally it reached to a point that show small signs of weakening. I might take that as a signal. And the next thing would be buyer. Currently the price is playing in a low volume mode where most of the buyer and seller sort of like disagree to trade here. So we are looking at, a high potential of price compression and distribution power gathering by the seller. Seller is getting stronger and stronger here. So we might look at the potential sell trade, based on the structure and how is the auction going on. So yeah, for this trade, UJ particularly, we're going to, lean on the sell bias. Definitely not compression. Hey chat, so currently I'm looking at this trade, which is US dollar Japanese yuan. The current price is playing around 159.528. My entry is around that price as well. My entry is targeted around like 159.541. So the stop loss strategy would be 159.809 as my stop loss. I'm going to do a sell trade for this position. And TP would be 159.004. And please help me to calculate the lot size for this particular trade based on my account size. I would be willing to take a 1.5% risk for this position. Thank you. Second position in, US dollar JPY going in at a sell. all right, to position in. Okay, so a quick recap on the reasoning behind this trade. So based on my analysis of US dollar Japanese yuan, first we take a look at the 4 hours time frame. So if you take a look at the 4 hours time frame, you can see that obviously the price is currently in a compression, right? Obviously it's compression. So it seems to me like, it seems to many of us that the buyer is trying to collect accumulation power to form a new structure out here, okay? But to me, what I notice is that based on, you know, based on this place, which is the low volume node, the pink color part, low volume node, well, this actually indicates that the buyer and seller trade the very less in this zone right here, which is the pink color zone. So when there's very less trade, it means that it is actually showing signs of the buying power is weakening. Okay, so we as auction market trader, we tend to like monetize and make money from the switch, the shift of the market. So currently, if you take a look at the 1 hour, you can pretty much really see, you know, there's a potential weakening of the buying power going on. So for me, I'm decided to go with the bet that, you know, a sell trade early. So that is why I enter, you know, a sell trade here with the hypothesis where the buyer is actually weakening, and I might take the opportunity where, you know, it is going back to this point of control zone. Okay, so that is the hypothesis. So currently we have two trades going on. One is gold and one is US dollar Japanese yuan. Let's get back to Euro US dollar. Still waiting for the response. So Euro US dollar, nothing much to do now. Just let it flow. Gold. Flowing down, but still okay. I'm quite optimistic. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Nice structure. Currently, take a look at Bitcoin US dollar right now. All right. So, quick thought on Bitcoin US dollar. So currently looking at Bitcoin US dollar, and we're gonna start from 4 hours time frame to see a better understanding on the setup. So currently the price is, forming an accumulation power, which is buying power being accumulated here, right? You can see like the buyer is actually gathering the strength and really try to, push the price back up. Now, the thing about this is that it is heading to this zone, which is the low volume node. So when it is heading to a low volume node, it is good to create a hypothesis where, the buyer is actually charging to a zone where most, based on historical data, most of the buyer and seller actually disagree to trade around this price, which is around like 73,611 to 74,000. So this zone is what we call LVH. So it's a low volume, right? Low volume node zone. So when it's actually in a low volume node, it is better to believe that usually the price will react in a way that is refused to, well, penetrate through this place unless it create a very strong impulse to push up. So right now, based on my observation, I'm seeing that if from a macro point of view, not only from this perspective, not only from here, but also from the entire chart, you see the price already found a nice zone to trade. So for me, I'm looking for price acceptance. So acceptance means that I'm actually looking for when the price hit 73,191, I will see how does the market react. If the price react in a way that shows me that seller is stronger, I will probably do a short trade. But right now, I'm leaning towards, a short trade for Bitcoin US dollar, 5-minute charts here. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to wait, okay? I'm going to wait for the price to actually test this level, which is the 73,191. 73,191 would be the level that I'm going to take a look at it. So if it shows signs of keep on pushing up, like at least, the buyer need to show me more power so that I can place a buy trade. But right now, I'm not looking at a buy trade. I'm looking at a sell trade, to be honest. A sell trade is actually a much more better trade than a buy trade for now. So what happens is this one. If it's come here, and then it didn't manage to penetrate through it, right, maybe a few times, I will go for a sell trade, okay? So yeah, two setup. So for me, if I'm going to do a buy trade, to be honest, I'm not really going to do a buy trade unless it shows me a very strong signal. I'm going to forget about it, the buy trade. I'm going to only pay attention on a sell trade for Bitcoin US dollar, where if the price actually touches this zone. If it didn't touch this zone, I'm not gonna do anything. All right, so I'm looking for, a sell trade around here. And we can aim for, a very nice profit all the way down. At least 1 to 5 risk and reward ratio is not a bad aim. Okay. Maybe I can set it here as well. Hold longer positions. Yeah, somewhere like this. This would be the setup for me. okay, for this particular trade. But right now, let's just not do anything. So Bitcoin US dollar, wait. Euro US dollar, wait as well. Gold climbing back up. Japan is showing back to the zone. Nice. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Nice structure as well. Almost the same structure like Bitcoin. Probably looking at the same trade. Ethereum US dollar. Almost the same setup. Probably good chance to go in at Ethereum US dollar right now. Not bad. Nice tradable structure for ARM on. Agreeable rotation model. We'll see how this price actually goes. Ooh, flying. Let's see how it goes, guys. For me, I think it's going to come back down. I think it's going to come back down. We can do some trade here. Nice structure, nice timing. But let's see where it's going to travel first. If you base on low volume node, this is actually the lowest one. This is the lowest one. So after the next few candles, I'll take a look, how does it react to the new zone. Ethereum US dollar, guys. Ethereum US dollar might be looking at a sell trade. Ethereum US dollar, a potential sell trade is emerging. Ethereum US dollar, guys. Ethereum US dollars. US dollar JPY going back to the zone. Any FKJ fans here? Any? Wanna listen to some FKJ? Let's listen to some FKJ. Let's see. This is a nice song.
I never thought it'd be this. I'm jumping out of your arms. I land and fall in a pit.
Let's
This what they call the
stand by, guys. Let's see how does he perform. Let's see what he's gonna do here.
I could recall when your lips used to contort in the smiles.
Zooming out a little to get a good glimpse.
Hasn't been bright in a while.
It's been a while.
Even days you mad at me. You're the one giving clarity. A testament to your character. On your birthday you told me to donate money to charity. You made it sincerity. Ain't got K like Saturday. You telling me when my stress start bearing me. You're the one to take care of me. I'm so gone at conclusion, foregone that confuse you. Where your war zone is torn long. I'm ready to go home. I'm ready for your bag. Can you comb my hair out so don't dread? Don't want my hair rub. I don't want to mixtape. I just want the best of. I just want to get grub from my spot again. To do the odds work in our favor, stay down, skate town, head low and face down like a kennel greyhound, doing God's work in the devil's playground.
Use this as a reference.
I never thought it'd be this. I'm jumping out of your arms. I land and fall in a pit. Is this what they call the abyss? I fought and clawed for an inch, turning a miracle mile. I can recall when your lips used to contort into smiles, bright as the sun that's drawn in eclipse. I haven't seen light in a while. Hasn't been bright in a while.
Alright, Tress. So currently I'm looking at the Ethereum US dollar trade. The current price is around 2,245, 2245.42. I'm looking at the potential sell trade where price is actually flirting around this price, and I'm thinking of trading the price acceptance where I'm looking at a sell trade. Okay, so still not making any reaction now. I'm still looking at the reaction on how does the price actually react. I'm actually foreseeing a potential pullback after buying power being accumulated by the buyer side. So I'm looking at the potential seller side for me to earn that asymmetric trades. I want you to help me to make a calculation on the lot size on MT5 for this particular trade, Ethereum US dollar. I am planning to take a 5% risk for this one, 5% risk for this particular position, and the stop loss is gonna be probably like around 2283.23, and the target take profit, take a closer look. Well, the stop loss is around the one that I mentioned with you, 2283.23. somewhere around there. Take profit, well, take profit around at least 1 2 3. Take profit 2109.11. Okay, please help me to make a calculation. Thank you.
I'm in the right direction. I'm into right as ocean. Traveling in slow motion. Paddling with no question. Early morning with the sun. Not yet burning, innocent. I try to be a good son. Myself 100%. Oh.
All right, aiming for a big one.
I feel it inside. I wanna reach that. It's somewhere inside. I wish I reached that. Skyline, skyline. I wanna reach that skyline.
Going in.
Skyline,
Ethereum US dollar going in for sell.
skyline,
Going big for this one.
skyline.
Doing a 5% trade.
Gonna reach that skyline. Skyline.
5% position size. Let's go. Let's take a look at the market reaction.
Endless troubles to go through. Daily struggling in the city. Daily struggle to be true. Betrayed authenticity. Poison all around, but still I will take another round or another ride until
Let it let it float a little while.
ground. I feel it inside. I wanna reach that. It's somewhere inside. I wish I reached that. Reach that skyline. Skyline. I wanna reach that skyline. Skyline. I wish I reached that skyline. Skyline. I wanna reach that skyline. Skyline.
Currently zooming in for this part to see how does the seller actually react. I need the seller to show me that it has the strength to defend. If it didn't have the strength to defend, you'll probably go down here and come back to test this level. And the entry might be, that one, not this one. So you see, here's the thing. This is where the price is balanced, right? And now buyer is actually pushing through a new level. So if I go in right now, before I go in a sell trade, I need to see is the buyer actually have the power to form a new level. So if it has the power to form a new level, going in right now would be a disaster. Okay, so that's the point. So I'm just getting myself prepared because I'm, aiming for a sell trade, a short one. But I still need few more confirmations from the seller side. So if the seller is, showing me weakening signs of weakening, I might not go in now. The second better high probability trade would be here, which is 2283.23. So right now, not to make any move yet. We'll take a closer look. But for me, I personally think Ethereum US dollar would be a high probability trade for do a sell trade, which is Ethereum US dollar short would be a better one. So yeah, let's just wait. Finally, US dollar JPY back to this green zone. Nice, finally back to the green zone. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, we'll see. Is the buyer actually as powerful as we think it is? Hey, Lucky, if you want to take a look at the TP price for gold, it's actually here. Just take a look at my screen here. Okay, TP price 5116.17. Okay, okay. Buyer weakening. I'm going in for a big trade for this one. I'm going in for a big trade. Going in for a big trade, guys. Ethereum US dollar, I'm taking 5% risk for this particular trade, guys. So let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. Let's wait for one more candle, okay? One more candle. Because for this particular trade, Ethereum US dollar, I'm planning to risk 5% for this position. I'm planning to risk 5% for this position. So which means, the lot size is going to be huge. It's going to be 79 lots for Ethereum US dollar. And the potential, well, probably I'm actually risking $3,000, in exchange for a potential profit of $10,000 for this particular trade. So stay tuned. Gonna wait a while. Need more confirmation. Let's see if we can place one last trade before we end the session, okay? Anyone know what is gold trade TP price? Buy or sell, guys? Take a look. Just a moment. One more candle. I feel like want to push the button already, but we need to wait for a while. One or two more signal to see if is the seller really strong. Not now. Let's wait. Last 10 minutes of the live stream. Feel free to ask me any question if you feel like. If you're curious about the trades, the position, quick recap. And for me, I'm just gonna wait for Ethereum US dollar. I am looking at a potential sell trade if the buyer actually shows me the signs of weakening. But right now, I think probably it still have the strength to go up and test this level. Okay, so I'm not planning to do anything yet right now. I'm just gonna wait and stand by, guys, because if this position here goes well, I'm going in as a sell trade. Going in at sell, guys. Okay, I'm gonna decrease my lot size for this one. Alright, chat, change of arrangement. Help me to switch it, decrease 2% of the risk position. I would only take 3% risk for this particular trade. Entry remains the same, stop loss and take profit remains the same, but the risk per trade, I'm gonna decrease it to 3%. Help me to calculate the lot size for this particular trade. Thank you. Yep, probably looking at a sell. Looking at the sell, guys, Ethereum US dollar. Okay, let's go in. Doing a sell trade, Ethereum US dollar sell. Let's go. Sell trade for this one. All right. There you go. Next entry, Ethereum US dollar sell. Let me take a photo for this one so that you guys can see, selfie first. Let's go. All right, so a quick recap before we end our session. Quick recap before we end our session, okay? So the question is, why do I take such a big risk? Okay, I'm taking 3% risk for this particular trade. So the lot size is big, well, because of my account size is big, and 3% risk per trade. Why is it worth 3%? First thing first, take a look at the 4 hours. If you take a good look at the 4 hours, based on Ethereum US dollar. Now, first thing first, what do you see? You see a potential, not potential, it is actually a zone where the price is already happily trading around this area, right? You see, very smooth structure, which is the auction is going on smoothly around this area. Okay, this is signal number one. And signal number two would be the current price, although buyer is accumulating the power, trying to find a new zone of balance, but still it is charging through low volume node, which is very low volume node right here. So when the price is actually playing in a low volume node, you want to ask yourself two questions. Question number one, how strong is the candidate, which is the current candidate is buyer? How strong is the buyer? Is the buyer actually as strong as it seems? That is question number one. And question number two would be, is there any signs of weakening of buying power, which is accumulation power? So if you want to take, a closer look so that you can see, potential weakening of buying power, well, it actually you can see is the more you zoom in, the closer it is for you to spot a potential weakening power here. And you zoom into the 5 minutes, it is actually much more obvious, you see? It is actually much more obvious, signs of buying power weakening. So for this, I think would be a good trade. So if I make, if I lose money, I lose like around 3,000, around, well, I'm taking like, the risk is 1,800 US dollar for this particular trade. But if I make money, I make like 6.4K. So 6 grand is not bad actually. So it's not bad to start the week. So it's a risk that I'm willing to take for this particular trade. So yeah, and the hypothesis is simple. I'm thinking like the price is still actually gonna respect this particular zone. That is my main hypothesis. So therefore, I am not gonna make an assumption where the price is actually going further up, even though that it is still possible to happen. But still, I will respect the fact that price actually already found the zone that is comfortably trading. And I think based on probability and market psychology, usually it will always tend to go back down. So I'm putting faith I'm putting a bet for this one, okay, where it's gonna go down from here. So that is basically the reasoning and setup for my Ethereum US dollar. So guys, there you go. We have like three positions being open today. We have US dollar JPY, gold, and Ethereum US dollar. So all this position is meant to be held for at least 4 to 5 hours for me. After the trading desk, I'm gonna end it and I'm gonna take a look at it later. But right now, um, I'm happy with the position that we're at. We spot like potential trade in the market currently. And yeah, love it, right? What a way to start the day. So guys, thank you very much for joining my live stream today. Um, we still have two more sessions, which is from Prem and Ellen later on. And I'm gonna keep you guys updated, all right? I'm gonna keep you guys updated on, the potential trade today. And thank you very much. I wish you guys have a great week ahead. I wish you guys good health, good luck, and happy trading. If you want to know more about trading, how do I trade, how do I use auction market trading to analyze the market, feel free to contact customer service or my assistant Grace to understand, what do we do in the VIP group. So last but not least, thank you very much for investing 2 hours of your time. And this is pretty much the setup. Thank you. Good day ahead, and I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Bye, guys.